All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Danny Torbett. We're going to be talking today with our partners from Datamatics about leveraging intelligent automation synergies for insurers. So I'm really happy today to have with me Eric Madrano, our channel sales manager, and Veda from our pre-sales engineering team. We're going to be talking mostly today about the rules engine in Decisions. If you're not familiar with Decisions, Decisions is a no-code software application development tool. Helps you automate things in your business. It comes with engine, which we're going to focus on today, a system that gives you a place to define, manage, and execute business rules. It keeps those rules consistent and centralized in one place. It also has a workflow manager to create, manage, and execute business workflows, allowing tasks to move from one step to another based on predefined criteria. It also has process mining, so you can examine business processes based on log events, and it helps in discovering process patterns, identifying bottlenecks, and suggesting improvements. It also comes with an integration layer. Decisions is an open API platform that also comes with 70 or so pre-built modules for the most common business applications out there. Things like CRM systems, ERP systems, databases, things like that. So we help you tie together and break down the silos inside of your enterprise. And then finally, it comes with an interface designer. So you can build unique customer and user interfaces through and experiences through things like dashboards, portals, web pages, and reports. We're so pleased to be joined today by our great partner, Marla. She's the Intelligent Automation Sales Director at Datamatics. And we've been partners for a couple of years now. Marla, why don't you tell us about some of the core competencies at Datamatics?
Yes, thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate it. Look forward to the rest of the webinar as well. So I'm really going to focus on RPA, on our intelligent automation platform, and what we are doing around integrating, accessing data, and those types of things. So most people think of RPA as a manual task automation tool, which it is, and it is so much more. Today, we're going to be really focusing on that legacy system, that UI automation or surface automation, when you have APIs that aren't accessible, or you have APIs with limited or not robust enough capabilities, and then as well as just APIs that are incredibly expensive to purchase from your vendor. We also, in the intelligent automation space, look at unstructured documents. Datamatics is an artificial intelligence and machine learning company. We've been providing AI and ML capabilities for several decades now. And so taking that technology and innovation and leveraging it to extract data from very complex documents and unstructured documents, which are prevalent in the insurance and healthcare space, especially. Mm-hmm. Enterprise governance at scale. I'll show a dashboard today. You'll be able to see that, just an example of that today. And then because of our artificial intelligence footprint and how we are very AI forward in digital transformation, we are deep into generative AI and Microsoft Copilot. And so, we are always staying on the cusp of that in our R&D group. So thank you, Danny, for letting me walk through that.
Yeah, I love it. We have had just a tremendous partnership together and a great working relationship. So we're so happy to have you today, Marla. Thank you so much for making some time for us. Before we jump into the good stuff, we've got a couple of plugs. Submerse are our 3-day deep dive training events that we hold all over the world. We do one every other month. We just got back from Stockholm, Sweden, believe it or not. And July 23rd through the 25th, we're going to be in Denver. We bring together our prospects, our customers, put them in a room with our architects and engineers and developers and our founders and co-founders, and we all talk about interesting, unique use cases and take training in the platform. We have a training for people just getting started as well as a master class. So really great way to learn more about Decisions and have a great time. Last year, we went to Red Rocks at the Denver one. It was out of hand. So check us out at decisions.com/events. To register for that one. And if you're in APAC, we'll be in Singapore, October 8th through the 10th. And Marla, it looks like you guys are getting ready to go on the road as well. You're going to be at ITC Vegas. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so we were a sponsor last fall at InsurTech or ITC and got to meet some wonderful people, perhaps some people that are on this webinar as well. And we will be back as a prevalent sponsor at ITC InsurTech this upcoming fall in Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas. So we look forward to seeing you there. If you're going, we'll be talking about intelligent automation and also what we're doing with Decisions.
Best pool in Vegas, by the way, especially on Sunday mornings. Big dance party there. Check it out while you're there, Marla, for sure.
Hope I have time.
Also, we've got some additional upcoming webinars on June 26th, 1 to 1:30. We've got streamlined document management with turbocharged bulk PDF form filling. That is quite a title. But another one of our partners, Expressibility, my boy Jason, will be there highlighting this new app that he built that we're going to be putting into our marketplace. You might not know, but Decisions has a marketplace of pre-built applications that you can easily customize to fit into your business. They're like perfect little building blocks. And then on July the 11th, we'll be holding a webinar on how to create and call rules and decisions, particularly timely as we're going to be looking at our rules engine today. We've been working on a lot of case studies and white papers lately. I actually work in the marketing department. It looks like you guys have been busy doing that too. Tell us about this AI and ML with RPA white paper that you worked on.
Yeah, so I don't think it's ready to take over the world yet, but AI is in everything. And so, like I said before, Datamatics has been in artificial intelligence for a couple of decades. And so as we roll AI into our intelligent automation tools, we have been creating several white papers around how they work together, the synergies around AI, generative AI, Microsoft Copilot with our intelligent automation tools. You can find more at datamatics.com /intelligent automation.
Excellent. If you find anything super compelling or interesting or want to learn more about Datamatics or Decisions today, email us at sales@decisions.com or events@datamatics.com. Doesn't matter. We're partners. We would love to hear from you. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So a quick reminder that we will be having a little bit of Q&A at the end. But you don't have to hold your questions until the very end. Like I said, we love a spicy chat, and the chat window is open. We've got folks on from Datamatics and from Decisions to answer those questions for you in real time. So a quick recap or a quick preview of what you're about to see. The title of the webinar today was Synergies and Intelligent Automation for Insurers. So we're going to be talking about bringing two particular disciplines together in robotics process automation and the business rules engine in Decisions. We'll look about the challenges that insurance companies face in managing those rules, and we'll take a look at a specific use case around claims eligibility, and Veda will demonstrate how Datamatics and Decisions together solve that problem. And then we'll have some Q&A. But like I said, don't have to wait till the end. Hit that chat. So, Marla, for people that might not be familiar with RPA, robotics process automation, can you give us a quick synopsis of what RPA is and what it solves for businesses?
Yeah, so RPA is an overarching product for automation of all types of manual tasks. So I could spend 30 minutes alone talking about what RPA does. But for this particular use case that we're talking about with Decisions on their business rules engine, it's really about accessing data that might normally take a human being to go out and get. So on the first case, I've got a legacy system, whether it's a green screen or, again, some of those API issues that you may have seen. You have a person signing into a system and extracting data. We're using bots through surface automation to do that, and you'll be seeing that in the demonstration today. On the manual website piece, the second area is, especially in insurance, there are portals galore that you need to go out and you need to access information. Payer portals, provider portals, all of those that come into play when you're looking at an insurance process. And normally you have a person having to sign in to do that. We're taking bots, and we're having bots sign in and extract the information and then doing things with that information, like sending it to a business rules engine. And the third there is just that swivel chair where I've got data from a spreadsheet, or I've got data from a document, or I've got data from another system, and I'm cutting and pasting and putting it into another system. manipulating spreadsheets, moving columns around so that somebody else can do something with it. Those are the types of automated data movement that RPA can solve and address as well.
Right. Just automating the tedious, manual, error-prone task.
Yep.
I love that. Eric, why don't you give our listener today a little bit of a preview of what is a business rules engine? What business problems can you solve?
Sure. Thanks, Danny. And thank you,
Mhm.
Marla, Datamatics, for the partnership, of course, as well. The first challenge we see really is that the businesses have their rules scattered, right, across multiple layers. So, for example, they could be in the UI, coded in JavaScript, maybe governing a dependent dropdown, or they could go all the way down to the database level as a stored procedure, right? So they're in different layers in the application stack. So what Decision solves there is it centralizes the rules into one management system. So saves you time locating the business rules that need to be updated. There's other benefits such as auditing the rules, creating versioning. We'll see a little bit of that in the demo today. Next challenge really is when the rules get complex, and they do, of course, get complex, and they're hard coded. They become difficult to manage, difficult to test and update. And what Decisions does is we try to simplify that complexity by offering different styles of rules with our suite of rule designers. We have about 8 different flavors of rules. That's the most that any other vendor has in our competitive space. So you'll get to see a little bit of that today as well. And lastly,
That's
really
really.
this, yeah,
Go
lastly,
ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Lastly, the sweet spot really though, finally, is when the rules need to update a lot. So that's really when a business rules engine is getting the most value, is when the rules need to change on some sort of frequency. And having an analyst skill set level user, such as a business user, be able to go in there and manage that part of their application, the business side of the application, through a controlled environment really is the value of a business rules engine.
Yeah, absolutely. As I think as it relates to the insurance business, with the fluidity of risk tolerance and exposure, the ability to be agile in being able to change the decisions that are being made is really critical. That's a
Ab-
great point.
Absolutely.
You know, this is just kind of a problem statement that we hear all the time from people in the insurance business, right? You're facing unique challenges integrating these legacy systems and maintaining the scalability of hundreds of complex business rules with the necessary agility and ease of use. I think about a particular insurer that came to us that was using a legacy rules platform that required code. It required coders that knew how to write in a specific rules engine language. But because our tool is completely visual and centralizes all that logic, it just is just so much more compelling. Let's talk about some of the use cases that we've both seen, Marla and Eric, in some of our insurance customers. Marla, why don't you start?
Yeah. Thank you for that, Danny. And yeah, so just really quickly, since we're talking about surface automation, UI automation, we're talking about accessing different systems. These are just a couple of examples of some of our insurance companies that are using RPA for these types of things. Advantage Healthcare System, we're accessing payer portals, we're extracting data, we're downloading EOBs, and then we're also extracting the data using our AI and ML from those EOBs for further downstream processing. Premier, which is a large healthcare provider, vendor and service provider, we are their RPA choice for their customers, over 4,400 healthcare systems across the US, doing things like claims, accessing portal information, underwriting, extracting data from complex documents, and then the eligibility process as well. And then National Health Services, which is United Kingdom's basically insurance company. So every citizen of the United Kingdom is basically a patient of theirs. And we are the chosen RPA tool for them for doing things like onboarding, contracts, registration, billing, all those things that require access to and retrieving information from multiple systems around the country. And so those are just a few examples of from a surface automation that we're doing with some of our customers.
Wow, that NHS one, what a huge project that must be. That's awesome. Eric, why don't you enlighten folks as to a couple of the use cases that we've seen recently?
Yeah, as we were saying, we have a growing number of companies in the insurance space really using Decisions as a business rules engine. First one here, Mayor Trust. It's a policy augmentation tool. It's a tool basically for their underwriters. So Mayor Trust they provide underwriting and administrative services, and Decisions they're feeding their policies through a bunch of rules that are making some calculations, validating forms on the policy. And this really has increased their speed and accuracy while providing a safe place for their business users to actually update the rules themselves. Next example here, Fidelity Life. They're based out of New Zealand. They're a New Zealand insurance company. And their rules are validating and processing complex dynamic pricing requests for pricing quotes, all in real time. And this rules-driven approach really is allowing them to scale more and add and modify their product offering. Lastly, Convex here, their rules determine if a peer review is required for risk evaluation process. So typical risk evaluation and peer review needing. Do we need one or not? This really is enabling them to pre-approve some of their simple processes, really, and reducing the need for manual work. So a variety of ways, really, Danny, that insurers are utilizing decisions in the business rules engine.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's probably the biggest part of our business, our insurers. Great. So now let's talk about the synergy. Let's talk about bringing the power of RPA and the power of BRE. I don't know why I'm using my fists to indicate power, but bring those two together to solve a unique business problem. Why don't we start on your side, Marla, at the left side? I love a good workflow diagram. Let's walk through this together.
Yeah, so just really quickly, what you'll see in the demonstration is you'll first see a bot that's going to go out to a legacy system. In this case, it's going to be Salesforce, which is actually not a legacy system. It doesn't have a green screen, and we all know it has APIs. But for the purpose of the demonstration, we're going to show the bot doing that surface and that UI automation into Salesforce as if it were a legacy system, and then we'll be passing the data off to the decisions rules engine.
Gotcha. But that could be a system that didn't have an API, right? That was a legacy system that's like stuck in some server closet somewhere,
Yeah.
no matter how old, right? We can get to
Yes.
it using RPA. And then Eric, when Decisions picks up the workload, what does that look like?
Absolutely. So Veda is on the call today. She will show you exactly what's going to happen. So what the first thing you'll see is really a UI built in Decisions with some dashboards that are managing the rules. So once the bots come in though into Decisions and gather that necessary data from the legacy system, such as the claim data, patient data, Decisions really determines the claims benefit eligibility by running them through these rules. So again, you'll see these rules, how they're managed. In a centralized system, we have some custom dashboards built to manage them, all with the analyst skill set.
Yep. And at that point in time, then the bot's going to go back into Decisions. We can either launch the bot into Decisions, or Decisions can orchestrate the bot and launch it back out to post it back into the legacy system.
Sounds really cool. I can't wait to take a look. Veda is going to be walking us through this part of the actual demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing as we make the transition. Perfect. So smooth. You're such a pro, Veda.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect. So I am actually going to start with the bot. That's where this whole process starts. You have to have data to put into the rules engine. So in this case, this is our enterprise cockpit. So this is an example of that enterprise governance that I talked about earlier, where we have visibility across our organization into all of our bots, all the bot landscape and ecosystem that we have within the organization. The top half is things around jobs and bots and users. The bottom half is where we're looking at what we're doing real time as far as how many jobs we have going on right now, which ones are scheduled, which ones have successfully completed. And then we have the notification center as well. So along the left-hand side, we have our enterprise menus that will include things like scheduling the bot. I can schedule it monthly, weekly, daily, every 15 minutes, whatever the process requires, so that your bots run in the background and they run seamlessly, as well as having role-based security requirements for the different users that are in your bot ecosystem, what they can do, what they can see, what they can change, what they can launch, those types of things. And then we have, again, much like Decisions, it's a very menu-driven, low-code, no-code ability to manage your bot environment. Today, we're going to launch manually because we don't have it scheduled as a webinar. So we're just going to slide over to the right and hit that play button. And at this point in time, we're going to go back to that main dashboard. And that dashboard then is going to show the bot there at the bottom half that it is launching. The bot does some pre-health checks on its own to determine its future success of completing. So now that it's done that, we are going to go ahead and the bot is going to sign on to Salesforce as if it were a team member. So same credentials as a team member. The bot signs on to Salesforce or the legacy system in this case, and it's going to go pull various amounts of information. So we're going to go to 3 screens to pull up the information that we need for the claims eligibility. This could be 2 systems and a website. This could be 3 separate systems. We would have bots that would just access whatever systems was necessary to get the information and the data that Decisions needs. So in this case, we're going to the patient data screen. We're extracting the patient data. Then we're going to the claims data where we have date of service. We have all of the information that the rules engine is going to need in order to make a decision. And then we're going to go into the next screen or report, which is the provider data. We're going to extract the appropriate provider data. Again, this could be in a different system or in a website, a portal, or something like that you need to extract information. You'll see it's 100% complete. We are pushing the data into Decisions, and Veda is going to take it from here.
Thank you, Marla. So once the data comes into Decisions through the RPA bot, when it extracts the data from Salesforce, it comes in Decisions as a unique report under this batch report, and there will be unique ID for each batch. So just to see what kind of data we got from the RPA bot, we have this action that shows us, the unstructured raw data that we got from the legacy system. And we can see that we have the claims data, we have the provider's data, and we have the patient's data here. Now, the next step in Decisions is to clean this data out, just to highlight the data transformation and data validation capabilities of the platform. But this can be completely done in a headless manner. So there will be no need for any manual intervention for the data validation. But again, just for demo purposes, we have this option here called data cleanup. So as soon as we click or trigger the data validation process, what we'll do, it will go ahead and clean that batch up for us. So now that it's complete, initially, it tells you it's successfully completed. Initially, the whole report was empty, but now the same unstructured data that we had was cleaned, validated, and transformed into a structured object called policy claims. And we can see the exact 2 claims being added to our report here with the claim status as still pending for now. That is because we still haven't triggered the business rules and the process of determining the eligibility on these 2 claims. Now let's go ahead and see how that looks like. So here we have another option to process these claims. As mentioned before, it doesn't need to be manually triggered, but for demo purposes, we are going to click on this process claims up top, and it will just give us a message when it's completed that the processing was complete. And now that the process is complete, we can go back to the report and have a look. You can see the status has been updated from pending to rejected. And the below report, as you get to see, got populated with all the rules that got triggered for each and every claim. So if we just select the claim here, and then we can see all the rules attached to that claim, how they were triggered, for that particular claim, what was the outcome for each and every tool, what was the input that came, and each and every audit-related parameter is visible and available for the users to gather insights from and take a decision on this particular case. Now, this was from a claims management standpoint, where we got the data from Salesforce or the legacy system, which triggered our business rules on top of it, and we got a status updated for these claims. The second aspect in the platform that we have is rules management. Now here, what we have is a set of different rules that are actually getting triggered within our process to determine eligibility for each and every claim. And we have some graphs that highlights on top all those different rules that we have, again, by different type, by the category they belong to, as you get to see. And in the report, right here, it shows us all the different rules categorized by what exact process they belong to. Like if we look here, there's a rule that is specifically acting as a knockout rule, and it's looking at the policy expiration date. And on the right-hand side, you can actually see all the versions for that particular rule. And the same applies for each and every rule. That is part of this report here. And you can see this version's report is actually dynamically populated based on the rule that user will select in the primary report. As well as there are other rules categorized by what exactly they are doing. Now we have a template rule that I would like to focus on. Let's just say we want to, as a business user, I want to go ahead and edit this particular rule. There are right-click user actions available. All I have to do is click on this edit option. It will take me to the rules designer right here. What this particular rule does, it looks at 3 input parameters: the claim type, the policy name, and the amount that is being claimed as part of that claim application. Now here, depending on different kinds of scenario, it will just give us an eligibility. In this case, either eligible or review needed, depending on our output. And now let's say we want to change this particular value to 2000. All we have to do is click on it, just edit, close it, and save it. So as a business user, I didn't need to write any code. I just clicked edit, changed it, and went on. Now, if you look over here and I click, you get to see the version that I just updated that rule. And let's say I changed my mind again, and I want to restore it from a different version. All I have to do is restore from backup, and it will give me restore back to the previous one. So if you go back to that one, you get to see that now it is updated back to the previous value. So this is how version control actually works in Decisions. And this was more from a rules management standpoint, wherein you can see each and every rule edit. Those rules perform version control for all those rules from a well-created custom dashboard, specifically for each business user. Now, finally, apart from this, we have this claim status report, wherein we have claim IDs and the associated claim status against each claim ID. This report here will only show the claims that the status has been not updated in Salesforce or the legacy system in this matter. The next step here, it will be the processing. Once the processing is done, the RPA bot will come into Decisions, extract these statuses against each claim ID, and update that in Salesforce. And the whole process will be completed. This is what Marla would be talking about.
Yeah, so just kind of as the last step is the bot either goes in and retrieves from the report within Decisions, or Decisions orchestrates the bot to begin. And we sign in, the bot signs in, just like, again, credentialing as if it were a team member. It goes to that claim, and if the status here, it says pending, the bot is changing the status to approved. And then the other one, the claim was rejected. And so the bot's going to go to that claim, and it's going to change that status to rejected. Now, to round out the process as a whole, if in fact you needed the bot to send an email to a stakeholder or a series of stakeholders, or you needed the bot to send an SMS text to someone to indicate to them that this was the status and it has been completed, it has been updated, or some other piece of information from the business rules engine that it may need to email out, then the bot can certainly do that as well. So that would be the process from the bot perspective for final posting.
Very cool. That is a great demonstration of two really powerful technologies combining to solve for a manual process that's tedious, that's error prone, and prone to bottlenecks. Great demonstration, you guys. Thank you so much. We got a couple of questions in while we were going through the discussion. I tried to handle a couple of them in chat, so I hope that those were helpful to you, Nandini. I would love to follow up with you. The first question that we got was, I see that the demo is claims-based, but what about enrollment for RPA and BRE? Where you have legacy systems or applications, business rules that change, enrollment has that. Does this technology apply to other parts of the business just beyond claims eligibility?
Yeah, I'll take that one, Danny. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. The onboarding really healthcare insurance members for yearly enrollment is an excellent example of needing both technologies, both RPA and the business rules engine. So this usually has green screens, blue screens, legacy systems, hence the RPA, no APIs. But then really every year the rules change for onboarding these members. So having that centralized visual rules management system again, of course, has a really optimized profits, increasing efficiencies for these payers.
Gotcha. Excellent. Excellent. Good answer. In the demonstration, we demonstrated that we were pulling data from one system. Could we pull from multiple systems into this process?
I'll take that one. Yes, absolutely. And you can configure your bot environment to go out to as many systems as you want. If it's serially and you can go and get something and come back, you can use a single bot. If you have SLAs and your turnaround time requirements are faster, then you can just configure your bot environment with multiple bots and they can work concurrently to go out and get the information that they need from multiple systems.
I love it. So Marla, this is a question for you. I kind of know from our side, but have you heard some ROI stories from your customers that are using the combination of these technologies?
Yes, for RPA, especially the ROI is all in elevating your current team members. Your team members that are doing that swivel chair activity, that are currently going into different portals and different legacy systems to extract data, and being able to put them into more strategic jobs, especially with the job market and the way that the expense of onboarding and the expense of hiring people and the movement of people, automation becomes a critical component to that, as well as, especially in the insurance space, there's a lot of offshoring and business process where you're offloading that to another organization, where once automation is put in place, you can save that time and money of offshoring and
So true. So true. We hear the exact same thing from our customers, right? And we're probably biggest in financial services. So insurance, mortgage, lending institutions, things like that, right? And over the years, as business process outsourcing has become more and more popular across the financial industry, those bills, just that spend just continues to grow and grow and grow. This is a great way to, as you said, kind of refocus the talent that you have more strategically, and also reduce that BPO spend at the same time. Really great points. There was another a question here, but I'm pretty sure that Chase put this question in here. I'm interested in this. How can I connect to learn more? Of course, you can connect with us, right? We're partners with Datamatics at events@datamatics.com, or connect with us at sales@decisions.com, or drop us both a line. We'd love to chat with you and see how the synergy of RPA and business rules can help simplify your business, not just in insurance and financial industry, but really any business. Thank you so much, Veda, Eric, Marla, for your time today. And don't forget to go to decisions.com/events. Schedule a demo with us at sales@decisions.com. Our next webinar coming up Wednesday, June the 26th, 1 to 1:30, Streamline Document Management with turbocharged bulk PDF form filling. I got to talk to our buddy Jason at Expressibility about that title. That's a mouthful, but it should be a really interesting webinar. He's built this amazing app to handle bulk PDF form filling, and it will be available in the Decisions marketplace, which is awesome. We provide, we hear interesting use cases from our customers all the time. We take those, we build them into applications and offer them in the marketplace. Scratch or reinvent the wheel when you do business with us. And also check out Datamatics at InsurTech at ITC Vegas. Marla will be hanging out by the pool at Mandalay Bay. Thank you all so much for joining. Chase, play us out, brother.